Once again, here we are. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single troublemaker in possession of an absurd problem, with no reasonable or realistic solutions, must be made of a want-up wife. I've probably read that wrong. The dog got out of his bed and distracted me. Hello!
You definitely said must be made of a want-up wife, so I am a want-up wife, I think.
I think in this relationship, I'm the want-up wife. Yes, hi. So 2 years ago, Fox and I played this little game, Eyes on the Prize, a fake marriage role-playing game, and recorded exactly one 45-minute session once all the editing was done. Which led to the thought of like, well, we should go back to that at some point, right?
I was real anxious about doing character creation on record.
Yeah, and straight up, so was I. But we wanted to go back to it because this game is pretty cool.
I like dog eyes.
If you are not familiar with me or this channel, hello, I am Talon Lee, he and him.
Yep.
I am the person who turns all the wheels that makes all the hamsters run. This is Fox.
I am Fox Lee. I'm she, her, and I'm the one that turns all the wheels that makes the website run.
It's true. I dump stuff on other platforms other people are maintaining. Sometimes that's a platform Google are maintaining, and sometimes that's a platform Fox is maintaining.
And I'm not responsible for any genocides.
Yes. We've been playing games together for a number of times. And, yeah, this is a new one. And by a new one, I mean an old one. We've been doing Let's Play back and forth in every fortnight on this channel now for a bit over a year and a half. And this is the first time we're doing a TTRPG since starting this new regime of regularly doing things. And that also means we're going to spend June trying to wrap up Eyes on the Prize.
It's very appropriate now that I think about it, since our own 21st wedding anniversary.
It's true.
Was like 2 days ago, and I forgot about it.
And also, I try to use June, not just as a Pride Month thing, because like Pride Month is just an excuse to talk about queer media, and I love that. But also, I try to use it as something that would be very special for Fox, because your birthday is in this month. And therefore, this whole month is therefore Foxteenth.
I am proud of me.
Exactly. What you're seeing here on the screen is a bashed together semi-VTT out of disparate parts. Under the hood, what you're looking at here is like 5 programs.
Don't tell them, they'll never know.
Meshed together and held in place by OBS demands. With that in mind...
Listen, it's not a real hack unless AutoHotkey has gotten involved.
It hasn't yet.
Not yet.
But what I will say is, if you like this kind of stuff with us doing this, because I know I try and talk about tabletop RPGs, I try and talk about itch stuff, and I have seen people passing around our Eyes on the Prize Part 1.
Ooh.
So, if you like this, let me know. Let us know if there's stuff that we can do in this vein that will engage you more.
Yeah.
Alright. Failing that, if you see anything weird or manky, it's actually all part of the retro jump cut charm, and we're actually just trying to replicate when the internet was much more shittily made by people who don't have editors.
It's bodgecore.
Yes, bodgecore. Fox, do you want to tell people what Eyes on the Prize is?
Oh, I think you already did. This is a little TTRPG that's not about fighting monsters or killing things, necessarily, and is about trying very hard not to fall in love with somebody you're fake married to for convenience and or mischief.
They were roommates.
They were roommates with a purpose.
Yes, you see, there's only one bed. No, it's a beautifully tropey style of narrative period fiction. It's definitely positioned itself as you are set in a period drama type thing, but it's got a certain fantastic element to it.
It's got a real sort of Jane Austen wallpaper, but all the illustrations are like sexy gamer people and weird dogs and
thanks to the way I've
awesome anime. So
thanks to the way I've set up the book on the screen, you can't see most of the art because it's all off the bottom, because I wanted to say, like, look, you can read along with me to an extent, you know where I'm flipping in the book, but also I don't want you to just be able to like copy paste from this video and go without buying a copy.
You know what, that's true, because you should buy a copy.
It's really good
and it's really cheap.
Yeah, you could spend the price of a Dungeons and Dragons book at itch and
get 5 games like this at least.
Yeah, even with the failure rate of how many itch games are, and I mean this with all gentleness, bad, you will still have a number of absolute hits for that price range. But we're not here to talk about bad games, we're talking here to talk about Eyes on the Prize, which is awesome. We did character creation last time, and there'll be a link in the description if you want to check that out. And we did kind of a first session, but also it didn't really go anywhere and it kind of petered out. So instead...
We were very much finding our feet the first time because we weren't quite sure how it was going to play. So.
Yeah, and honestly, it was one of our first, let's play anything TTRPGs on a mic.
True. I feel like we didn't resolve a lot of the stuff the way we were supposed to. We just kind of chatted about the prompts that came up.
Yeah, in a way, it was kind of a read-along and a playthrough of the game as well. Still, what we did was a pair of fancy royalish people in a fancy royalish society. There is a degree of magic and the supernatural in the setting. We have elves and fancies and fairies, and there are almost certainly hot orc girlfriends out there. And I was playing Ilya Baronovich, who has the more prestigious name of the couple, who is an all-purpose adventure idiot who, thanks to family and societal pressures, is being forced to stay at home wearing a dress and getting married to consolidate holdings. And her plan at this point is to arrange with her freshly arrived fake partner Rowan to get on a ship with enough supplies to flee the country and leave behind all of her responsibilities. This is the goal. I want to take my partner on a cruise in a way that it won't be sus when I pack everything I own onto that boat.
Oh, that's your end game. Okay, that's interesting. We can work with that.
Understanding full well that this person will almost certainly completely ditch on me the second we are out of the harbour, because, let's face it, neither of us are really feeling this, right? You didn't think you really got married to something this hot off those letters, did you?
Oh, that's the out button. I see. For a second there, I thought you were really expecting to elope with someone you'd gotten married to and, definitely hadn't fallen for, but, wouldn't object to seeing more of.
Look, hang on, help me out here. If we're married, we can't elope, right? Isn't eloping running off to get married? Aren't we at this point fresh produce that has a distinct and tangy sense? We are cantaloupe.
I'm sorry, you've just fully thrown me for a rod with that little garden path.
Okay, well, how about you introduce people to who you're playing?
Yeah, well, I was going to. I don't think I ever picked a surname for Rowan because I was doing a lot of flustering.
And it doesn't matter.
What's something silly and fancy?
It's Baronovich now.
No, I didn't necessarily agree to that.
I think you'll find my parents agreed to that.
He's so argumentative.
He's such a little brat.
What are you doing here?
I've also been avoiding using any pronouns up until now because I didn't know what Rowan is.
No, you've been sheing Ilya the whole time.
No. Ilya. Sorry, no, not Ilya. Rowan.
You're the annoying one. You, he, Talon, he, him. I'm not talking about Ilya.
Oh, I see. That's how it be. Still...
Yeah, so Rowan is a sweet little buttery cinnamon roll from a big family of, modestly important nobles, not like the most prestigious people on anyone's list, but definitely worth chasing, unless you're like the 12th child who stands to inherit dick nothing, and all they have going for them is that they're quite lovely and everybody adores them.
Aww.
Except I'm not really... I might be not technically the original Rowan. I might be a scurrilous spy who has replaced Rowan for unspecified world-saving reasons. I don't know how much Ilya knows about this. I don't think we established necessarily.
I think it is entirely in keeping and in character for Ilya to behave as if she has no idea, as represented by her having no idea. Rowan might have in fact explained this to her, and she has no idea.
Well, I guess we'll find out later if the mission is a secret or not. If Ilya thinks she has married someone who is totally just going along with this because they're nice.
The character of Ilya at this point in my mind is very much shaped to be Lara Kronk.
Yes, well, aside from the fact that Talon is playing me.
You don't own that many guns.
Anyway, fake not Rowan, whose name we do not know. And I don't know if I will choose to specify.
The Griffin.
Is kind of just a haughty bitch.
Which is really funny because Rowan is so nice. All the letters indicated that Rowan was so nice.
Yes, it's delightful. Living up to her reputation.
Yep.
Oh shit, I gendered her!
Uh-huh.
I didn't mean to do that.
Well, as far as I know. And also, the other thing is, I was having these long-form letters with Rowan and this wonderful communique, but she was having a very hard time sealing the deal, because I figured if I got Rowan on side, my family would be, like, shutting up because, you know, prestigious family. But also, Rowan was just so evasive. And then one day I get one of my love letters back, and it's got, like, all these red pen marks correcting my spelling and such. But also seemed much more eager to get married, so, you know, a bit of one, a bit of the other. I don't know what could have possibly happened at that point. It's entirely possible that Ilya doesn't realize anything changed, because she might be an idiot.
You've definitely misunderstood that idiom. It's commonly mistaken in this way. It's not particularly something you should feel ashamed of, but it's certainly something you should fix at the earliest convenience.
So Fox is playing Fox.
Oh no! We're both playing me!
Oh...
It's gonna be a problem. I'm Ace.
Who's to say Ilya isn't? I don't know. Really, that is not an element of what actually happens in this game that matters. The point is falling in love. All right.
Coughing discreetly, pointing away from the microphone, and still definitely being heard on the microphone.
Oh, absolutely. We are in a big echoey room. There is only so much we can do with our sound wizardry.
Now, do we intend to reset pretty much to the start?
I think that's appropriate.
Okay.
We met through correspondence, in which you were definitely the only person Ilya was sending one of her love letters to, and you were not one of a number of least optioned people being carpet bombed by "will this do?" style, get my parents off my back like I'm applying for jobs at the Centrelink Center.
Well, all the letters had my name on them. I don't see who else would have read them. It was definitely me all along.
I mean, that she sent the same letter to start this conversation to like 40 people.
I know, I'm playing on it.
Oh, good. Which led to the ongoing correspondence, during which time Ilya thought that she was going to be successfully, you know, getting the bag and getting herself married so her parents would rack off and give her enough freedom to get some money and get on the boat. That's the goal. Get on the boat.
Okay, sure. Get on the boat. That can be the goal, I guess.
And Rowan was the one who went along with it.
Well, she seems like a very useful idiot for someone who's trying to maintain a low profile but not be, like, suspiciously disinvolved with society.
Uh-huh. And indeed, that leads us to our plot, which in our case is written here: prevent war, get on boat, get girlfriends.
Now, hold on a minute. You're definitely supposed to keep talking and ignore that.
Get girlfriends and don't fall in love.
Yeah, so I don't recall anything after that first part, but...
Oh, you can stick around.
I think it's very clear that Ilya filled out the sheet.
Oh, yes. Ilya's player is the one who filled out the sheet, because under the hood, Rowan's player would not be using this much of a bodge to get this to work.
Shh, I told you not to tell them. Don't embarrass me.
Yes, if this was Fox making this thing, it would be a very clever piece of CSS, bespoke and constructed, as opposed to an image that's currently being manipulated with a pen tool.
Yeah, and it'd be coming out in September, so...
Yeah, well...
I've choked Talon on mic. Brilliant.
Yep. This game is going to rely on us going through a series of scenes determined by prompts, which are given to us by our playing cards. There is a deck of cards if you're looking for some shuffling ASMR. No.
Wow!
audio setup at this distance?
That's true.
I mean,
You're like a real echoey waffle.
there you go. What's going to happen is each scene is going to involve giving us affection, plot, or suspicion.
Right, and if we go into the negatives on one of them, it overflows to positives in one of the others, doesn't
Yes.
it? I like that.
Negative affection becomes suspicion. If it's very obvious we don't like each other, people will notice. Negative suspicion becomes plot because we're not getting attention, so we can get our personal ways of moving stuff along. Negative plot becomes affection
because we're fucking about.
Because as we know, anytime the characters are liking each other, enjoying time with one another, that is clearly a filler episode and not part of the plot. Fox got to see the filler episodes anime website recently and had a angry time.
So angry.
Now, there is one piece of information here that I realize I've missed, which is I don't know where the numbers start at. So, real quick check.
Oh yeah, they probably don't start at 0, huh?
Uh-huh.
We're going to pause quickly while Talon reads the rulebook. In the meantime, I'm going to list the number of words that are fun to say. Squabble. Wombat. Cabbage. No, I've run out. I'm no good at this.
Ham-fisted.
It's kind of fun to say. Just ham is fun to say.
Smuggle.
You keep reading the rulebook. I'm vamping for you. Get your eyes on the prize.
Are you?
She said the
She said the thing. But again, are you vamping?
Yes. I was vamping.
Were you?
Shut up. You don't appreciate my art.
Okay, so you do start at 0. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Moving on. Also, anytime one of us in a prompt does something that makes the other one fall more in love with the character, they get +1 affection anyway. And I have a suspicion, given how Fox and I make characters, this is going to wind up being a bit of a turbo round.
I mean, we already had some moments in the previous recording. Let's see how it goes.
We dokied some dokies. All right then. So we've gotten we got engaged via correspondence, and indeed Ilya was low-key hoping to do the whole marriage thing by correspondence too, like we could just exchange a form. But
there's got to be some reason that didn't happen, because Rowan would have been down for that.
I have to assume Rowan wants to be in the capital for some reason. It's really weird. She has this really nice estate, and it's out by the ocean. Like it's got a boat. It's got a boat, and yet for some reason, Rowan came all the way to the capital to do the official marrying thing, which is really weird. I was willing to go over there with the boat.
That's not what correspondence means. That's just the opposite of me coming to you.
Either way, yeah, so at some point, Rowan showed up, getting off the large Magitech train powered by elaborate crystals. The gnomish pilots gave their cheery little lally-ho.
No, fuck gnomes. Gnomes don't go in my fantasy world. They're just small humans with stupid names.
Well, I guess Rowan's already getting a start on being a gnome wrecker.
Banished.
Point is that Rowan showed up and met Ilya. Which is to say, Rowan leant back and looked up at Ilya.
I assume that we had a conventional wedding celebration, largely because both of our families insisted upon it.
I think Ilya would have fought really hard for that, just because we want the actual wedding ceremony to be another gun in the chamber we can fire later on. And it's been like, we've been paperwork married.
How many guns are in your chamber?
Another bullet in the chamber, my bad.
So what do you mean?
What I mean is that what's probably happened is that she wanted to negotiate of like, oh, we're going to go to the town hall and sign a piece of paper and we're done. And my parents can rack off. But instead the parents were like, no, you can't do that. And like, oh, you want to do some paperwork up front. Oh, I see. So you can be married and do all the, like, you know, the trial stuff and you get it locked down early, then you could do the soiree thing and then get everyone's attention, so you do your inevitable wedding just because we have a lot of money.
So you're suggesting that we are technically married, but we haven't done a ceremony?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it seemed very convenient if we could just avoid the ceremony part.
That's the thing Ilya wants to do.
On the other hand, we're now debuting in public as a married couple without having had a big party for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Surely that would invite some resentment.
No. Everyone think they just missed it.
You think everyone? You think all of the noble houses will think they just were out that day?
Well, the paperwork is just get things locked down while my parents organize the wedding, because they really want one of those.
Well, yes, but that conventionally, the couple then wouldn't present as a couple.
Well, we're definitely a couple. We're betrothed, all right?
I don't... Okay. Let's try another angle.
The look I got.
There's a social script that people expect to be followed when two people of standing become affianced.
That's the word. Fancied, yeah.
Yes.
Like, I fancy you.
Thank you for that information.
That's why there's dress fittings, because the dresses make you look well fit.
I think this explanation has been derailed.
She is convinced that she won.
I think she has won this battle.
Yeah, you can't make me learn nothing.
See, previously when we played this, the last two things we had watched were the original Reincarnated as a Villainess and Spy Family. But since then, Talon has watched all of Kaguya-sama.
That's not about dumbasses. That's about the opposite of dumbasses. That's about geniuses with anxiety conditions.
Oh yeah, nobody in that show is stupid. Not at all.
It's the special kind of stupid you can only get to if you already know too much and have an anxiety condition.
Yes, well, I've chosen a character type, and I'm sticking with it.
Uh-huh.
So you, Talon, who's not dumb and doesn't misunderstand.
Yeah.
Do you not think that there would be some kind of ceremony?
Oh, there would.
Before there is a show of the couple appearing in public as a couple, because that's where we're meant to start, right?
Sure, though here's the other thing. I'm basing this off what I understand to be a real thing that happened. In noble families, it was very common for there to be a betrothal document, a wedding, and then a period of get everyone hyped for it, and then the big fancy wedding, and then, if it was someone particularly fancy, another wedding in another country so other people could attend it there. Yeah.
And you would go out before having the wedding ceremony, but
not the
call
very first
yourself
one.
Already married.
You'd have like a little baby mode one first. Like, you know, let's get all the paperwork locked down, let's make it so that if they bang or if anyone gets pregnant, it's not a problem.
I feel like that's the fiancé stage.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to do it that way. This is our fantasy kingdom to make, after all.
I just want to establish a baseline.
Yeah. So are they married or not?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out from you.
So, to restate, I think they were married in a small ceremony that sorted it all out, and it's all the paperwork stuff, but the proper wedding, the big fancy event that everyone gets to come to, hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
Because I understand that's a thing that happened for princes across the everyone gives a poop about princes and princesses stage of Europe's history. Most of which I know about because there's this very annoyed letter about the Welsh asking why the Queen is coming to Wales to get married again when she already did it once in Scotland.
Oh no, multiple ceremonies make sense. It's just the space between document wedding and big wedding is not usually occupied by. And, you know, here we are, a completed couple already. We haven't bought you any food yet, but you're still expected to treat us like we're married.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you'd like.
Well, okay. But I think people resent us for it.
Okay, yep. This is our fixture guide. People are mad at us for not having thrown them a party yet. But also, they're probably pretty mad at me anyway for marrying, no offense, a nobody loser from nowhere.
Excuse me. I am both desirable and popular.
Oh, yeah, you're great. But no one cares.
Everybody cares.
In the noble families? Ask them to spell where you're from.
What makes you think I'm from some sort of backwater?
There's this moment of Ilya giving this confused look, and then she just reaches up and points at the map behind her, on which there is the capital city as this enormous sun-sized globe with practically every street documented, and then an arrow in the very far corner going to Elak lands.
You have a leaf stuck in your hair.
That'll happen when you fight a tree.
I don't know where you're getting this from, Talon.
I don't know where I'm getting this from.
At no point did I say, and I'm from Pisswater Nowhere. I think I said I was from quite a well-to-do family.
Oh yes, you're from a well-to-do family. It's just Ilya's extremely not plugged in.
You need to do a voice or something so I know when it's you versus your character.
That's true.
Who I'm going to be angry at.
It's very hard for me to do a voice that would be appropriate for Ilya. I apologize. And the thing is, if I try and do a femme voice, it will just come across as me making fun of clunky trans ladies.
All right.
And
do a little finger puppet. Put a little face on your finger. Here's the adventure parts. He's doing it. Excellent.
There you go.
This will surely solve the whole problem.
Does this look like the face of mercy? All right. So they corresponded by letters. Ilya thinks that where Rowan is from is, I don't know, the outer wilds. She has no idea, but she knows that they have a harbour, so they've got a boat. So that's why she wanted to go there at first. But it's probably like Wales, like this perfectly nice, very pleasant country that looks great. But she's never been there, so she's like,
it's not rural.
Whereas she is in the capital city, which, admittedly, is a little bit of a fraught situation since the kingdom split into East and West. But to be fair, as long as the capital maintains, East agrees to do what West is doing because West is doing what the capital is doing. So, you know, it's all fine. You know, everything will be fine because I'll be on a boat.
We have the largest library in the nation.
That's cool. Does it have one of those ladders that goes whizz?
Yes.
Dope. Can we go see your library? Near the boat. I love how we're meant to have pulled a card by this point, and we're just doing the dithering around beforehand.
You will remember we are obligated to stay in the capital until the ceremony.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that has to get processed by the bishop, who has to bless the union.
Yes, and it's not up to me.
It's up to the bishop. But
Good.
Really, I have a taller hat than him if you want someone to do that.
I'm sure you do.
So many hats.
I don't think it's based on hat size.
I don't even need that many hats.
No, nobody needs that many hats.
I'm real bad with the finger puppet. I'm real bad with the finger puppet. Alright, so the pair have negotiated their way into a, let's tentatively call it a relationship. Ilya thinks...
Sounds like we're married. Fuck.
Ilya thinks Rowan is just the best. If you ask her any questions about Rowan, she thinks Rowan's adorable and sweet and lovely based on the letters, and none of this has anything to do with the way that Rowan has been talking to her since she met.
Ah, yes. Tea.
Yeah. But, like, you know, there's a lot of letters. So those of, like, if the personal experience of Rowan disagrees with the letters, it's probably that it just hasn't equaled out yet. It's something to do with, like, when you mix water and salt water, like, eventually they find that point where they're just the same. And, it's like that. I've just got to wait until, like, the nice parts and the mean parts balance out. And
until I become brackish.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember if that's the right word, actually, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've gone through plenty of tournament brackish. Anyway, at this point, a grand soiree is being called. And Rowan and Ilya, as newlyweds, who have had their first private ceremony, during which time, weirdly, I don't think any of Rowan's relatives were there.
I'm sure several brothers tried to make an attempt.
Uh-huh. Did any get close to the church doors?
I mean, it was a document wedding. Was anyone even invited?
My parents would have been there. Which is why I couldn't jump and beat up the brother who tried to get involved. Anyway.
I'm not certain my parents are that concerned with what happens to me.
Oh. That's right, you're the spare.
Rude.
That's what they call it, right?
That's not what they call it.
The heir and the spares.
Oh, no, that's for... Conventionally, that's for sons.
Oh, okay. And then just imagine a slow pan back as Ilya pulls out a little notepad and is like, "Not son? Question mark, question mark, question mark."
You'll never know.
Never know. But there's a grand soiree. They are on paper married, which means, of course, my invite extends to you. We have to get you to the dressmaker and go to the fancy party.
Ah, yes. Dresses.
Uh-huh. Well, you can do whatever's fashionable where you're from. What do they wear out there?
Volumes. What am I drawing a card for?
They wear books. What did you pull?
Jack of Spades.
Okay, the Jack of Spades
That
is a
seems
marital
important.
trial.
It seems like when you pull the Major Arcana on the first turn.
Oh, dearie me. Okay, so we pulled
We're just having a fight before the party.
Well, it'll depend what we pull. Okay. Okay, face cards will prompt you to pull a marital trial, a special challenge with greater risks and rewards. Okay.
This is what I get when I don't let Talon stack the deck.
I didn't stack the deck.
That's why I said when I don't let Talon stack the deck.
What we're going to do is we're going to grab the very ugly dice interface and we're going to grab a D12.
Oh. Trunk.
Number 4. Okay. And we'll just quietly get rid of you. So we're doing marital challenge number 4. Oh, for crying out loud.
Is it rock, paper, scissors?
So we arrive at the soiree and the challenge we have is dancing, obviously. What's a social event without a turn around the ballroom? Play rock, paper, scissors against each other 8 times and count the number of times you play the same move.
Fans of the previous episode will remember how we dance.
Yeah, just so you know, this is me playing with a loaded deck against, I know what to do here. So, understand. This is gonna seem easier than it should be, but are you ready, Fox?
How did we wind up dancing just the first thing that we did?
Oh, you've got it. You've got to show up and do a dance. Honestly, it's one of the only things I'm good at here because I just memorized that you put your foot down at the rhythm, and if you throw the person you're dancing with all around the room, you look really impressive.
Do people not introduce themselves before dancing in the capital? Do they not stop for appetizers? Do they not...
Do you want to dance on a full stomach? Brave. Besides, everyone knows who we are. That's what those people with the trumpets by the entrance were. That's why there was the chanting of your name, and that's why they threw the confetti. Everyone knows.
Picks confetti out of hair.
Picks another leaf out of her hair.
You're in danger of getting affection points.
That tree had it coming.
It's alright to dance.
Alright then.
Let's just dance.
Okay, so we need to play paper, rock, scissors 8 times. Ready?
Da 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 da.
Da 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 da. Or do 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 do.
Not that one.
Ready?
I don't think they play that one in the ballroom.
Okay.
One,
John,
two,
Ken, Pon. Ken,
Rock.
Pon. John,
One, two,
Ken, Pon.
rock.
John,
And
Ken,
it's rock.
Pon.
You
Ken,
kinda know.
Pon. John,
What if
Ken,
I
Pon.
didn't?
John,
No,
Ken,
it's
Pon.
rock.
John,
There's
Ken,
one more.
Pon. How about that? We got 8 ties. Because I, Talon Lee, know that Fox Lee has a rule that in paper, rock, scissors, you always go rock.
Listen, it's rock. There isn't a better choice than rock. That's technically correct.
It's true.
Even if it is the dumbest thing I've ever said.
You feel like you've danced together 1,000,000 times. What is it about it that's making the rest of the couples fade away? What touch or gesture finally brings you back? What kind of excuses are you going to make to dance for much longer than you originally had planned? Well, I don't know about Rowan, but in this situation, I think Ilya is dancing with someone who she doesn't feel she has to impress for the first time in forever. And, like, normally, when she dances with someone, she needs to make sure they know their place. There's a fair degree of people who have tried to dance with Ilya and have walked away with very sore wrists, and occasionally sore ankles, and at least one case, a leaf in their hair. So, she's actually just enjoying the dancing, because that's a thing humans can do, I've been told.
I think real Rowan is a very good dancer, because they just seem like someone who would be, like, they got that whole Disney princess dancing in a forest fucking vibe. I think fake Rowan was required to learn something about how to dance for the sake of the masquerade. And I think the way they approached this was to learn a single move and decide that was the optimal form of dancing and just stick to that one every time.
They have optimized dancing.
Yes. Dancing is complete. I've learned dancing.
Yeah.
I know how to perform a dancing.
I can get a good grade at dancing,
Yes.
which is reasonable to want and possible to get.
Yes.
Alright then. Well, I've got some bad news for you. This means that we get +3 affection and -1 plot.
Yeah. Does -1 plot turn into more affection?
That means that we are now
Sure
at
does.
4 affection.
Well, this is stupid.
Yep. Please ignore those control layer bounding boxes as we move on.
Yeah, you saw nothing.
So Ilya clearly got into some kind of scrap on the way in that everyone hushed up. Hence the leaf in the hair.
Fight a tree outside? I didn't think it had been, like, immediately before they came in.
I think that tree's following us. Anyway, but the actual dance, like, Ilya is tall. And Ilya is very physically arresting. And there are only so many things that a dressmaker can do with a woman with her shoulders in that general height, especially because it's a formal event. They want to put her in heels, and, like, there's a fight between, like, how much heels she's willing to put up with. But you don't put a woman like her in heels without also effectively making a kind of muscular lighthouse. And so she's used to being the center of attention when she dances, and that means she's used to being very self-conscious about what anyone thinks, like, oh, no, you're not leading here, little person. I am the one in charge, and you will be okay with that, and if you think you're not going to be okay with that, I will make you okay with that by the end of the dance.
That's definitely accurate here.
Yeah, whereas in this case, it's just nice. It's not someone trying to take charge, it's not someone trying to take command, and she stops noticing that people are noticing.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Rowan is acutely aware of people noticing.
Everyone.
Yep.
Everyone all the time. You are being judged at all possible moments.
Actually, that's not fair. That's not what the outcome says. I think that's how it starts out. But then at the point where Rowan has been, lifted up like a tree branch and just hoisted around the place, it's like, this is extremely not what was represented. Help!
Can that large Amazonian lady lift me up like a little baby?
Exactly. And that in itself is a disarming sensation.
Ilya sets her short, non-gender conforming monarch down. And then
I don't think Rowan's that short. Just like
compared to Ilya,
small, just fine all over. You know.
Yeah, just possibly a completely ordinary-sized person, which is to say, Ilya makes them feel small.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And she's like, pat.
I'm not small. You're giant.
So, you wanted canapes? They're over here. No one can hear you mouthing on the microphone.
That's true. Just emoting, struggling for words doesn't work in audio form.
Yeah. Real Homestar doing a handshake sounds there. Off to the drinks table, where... Ooh, I've pulled a card. What could this be?
Another face card.
No, thank God.
Riot.
It's the 7 of Spades. Something about your spouse is totally at odds with your lifestyle. It would have been a deal breaker in a real relationship. Bring it up in spite of yourself. Now, remembering... What? What are you taking the card off?
Stop flicking the card into the microphone.
Yeah.
I was trying to signal.
So, here's the thing. In Ilya's mind, this is a fake marriage. In that, give you enough time, you're going to ditch me. Everyone ditches me. That's just how it be. But also, ultimately, you're the one who accepted, and therefore you're the one on the hot seat as I try to find a way to get as much of my stuff onto a boat. And away from my family, and away from... By the way, you notice that whole thing about the East and West Kingdoms? Like, that's kind of weird. I'd rather not be here when that eventually kicks off. Anyway, so... that whole thing means that in her mind, like, she doesn't have to, like, actually fix anything here. This isn't any kind of long-term plan. But, like, she owes you. Technically speaking, when she ditches on Rowan, like, it's going to be, like, technically on paperwork a disgracing, but like who cares at that point, because she'll be a shameful ballyhoo and who cares.
No, this is a long-term plan. You don't seem to understand.
But she does think, well, that was a nice dance. Rowan's nice. I like Rowan. I should say something helpful to be a good friend. So, as they're getting canapes and scrunching away and having this nice moment of like, by the way, everyone hates it when you correct them. -1 affection.
Oh, Talon,
Oh no, that is the character. That is the character that was entirely a joke.
No, I love you. I just wish you'd said it slightly different so I could be like, you know...
Oh, no, sorry. Me and everyone thinks it sucks when you correct them.
That's what I was after.
No one can hear you. No one can hear you doing that gesture. Fox just standing there, like Rowan is like opening the mouth, holding up the fingers, closing the fingers in like a curling gesture, like a magician palming a coin. Deep breath, holding up the finger again, open the mouth, the fingers wriggle again.
The problem is, I don't think I can make that into correct. I can't even. I hate it.
Let me get my red pen. Let me diagram that sentence for you.
Enjoy your canapes.
And this room that is being magically cooled somehow gets a little frostier. But we're still at 3 affections, so you clearly think I'm not that much of a tool.
I think I could have fixed that with the proper correction at hand.
Yeah. I quite frankly think that if you'd done that, I would have given you a point of affection because that's adorable. Well, your card.
Well, I tried. It's just I and everybody else and I doesn't really sound right either, because you don't need to specify that you and everybody. You could just say everybody. Really, it makes no sense at all. That's definitely been said now.
Like, there's the moment, there's the cool down.
Said that, tried to walk away,
enjoy
came
your
back.
Okay, so we go back up to 4 affection. That was adorable.
Just a moment.
I need to marshal my energy for this correction. Did you come back with does Rowan come back with like a whiteboard?
It was so wrong it nearly defeated them.
Well, your card.
Oh, it's my card. Oh, goody. I have an ace of diamonds.
An ace of diamonds.
Sexy.
Everybody
friend likes aces, right?
Admits a secret that aligns with your goals. What new opportunity or development do they offer? Into your lap, Rowan. There you go. You've now got something that keys into your side of the story. Good luck.
We've established that Rowan doesn't have any friends here. Does Ilya have friends here?
Well, you're a spy, right? You've got contacts.
Yeah, but those aren't friends.
Oh,
they don't have to admit things to me. They already know what's going on.
That's a really good point. Okay. So let's say that one of Ilya's cousins is here. Not one of the Berevich, one who's already been married off. And her particular field of interest is that she owns the land holdings on which the Eastern Diplomat special meeting group is currently organizing their paperwork. They needed a whole house to organize all the paperwork with the country splitting, to like work out who owns what and what territory belongs to who. And so like it's a whole thing, and she's happily complaining about like all the paper, and they, you know, does having too much paper stacked up in one space, does that damage property values? Because it might.
Well, if it attracts certain kinds of insects that enjoy it. No, definitely not.
Oh, gross. Bugs.
Tell me more about this house, though. This sounds delightful.
And she proceeds to regale Rowan with exactly the wrong kind of information for an actual sensible conversation. And that she's like bragging about, oh, the brocade and the cornices. These aren't those molded cornices. These are sculpted cornices. And what's the difference? Oh, of course you wouldn't know what the difference is, would you? So here's the difference.
Well, of course I know what the difference is. If it's sculpted, that means it's been
did Rowan like lead her on to talk more, and then when she was like, of course you wouldn't know that, and then corrected her?
Absolutely.
So
I mean
+2 plot.
Anyway, do you think maybe we might visit there ourselves at some point after the celebration? I'd love to see it. That area of the country is so beautiful, I've heard.
I imagine it's probably in the capital city when I said that, but no, you're right. Yeah,
that area of the capital is so beautiful, I've heard.
Well, you're going to bring Ilya? She's so much fun, and
of
I imagine if any of them get lippy, she'll have so much fun throwing someone through a window, and then I get to charge them to replace the window.
I mean, how could I come without my new wife?
Of course. And you're so good for her. She's looking radiant across the room. Ilya is at this point throwing a punch bowl out a window.
I wish I could burp on command. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Sorry, YouTube listeners. All right. So
she's unmistakable.
There's a lot of Ilya. She
fills a room.
A lot. All right. You do think... Do you put any stock in the myth that she's the one the family is named after? The prophesied bear daughter? She is absolutely talking complete bullshit. Like, she is seeing how superstitious Rowan is.
Sorry, a prophesied? You'll have to tell me more.
And then she proceeds to spin a story. I've run too much Blaze in the Dark.
This conversation just takes off into a corridor.
Yeah. where this cousin tells Rowan that there is this elaborate story about how one day in the family a woman will be born who is actually a bear that's been strategically shaved, and that's where Ilya came from.
How could you be born strategically shaved?
It's the purpose of the myth. Anyway,
it's a porpoise as well.
Well, I guess I got to pull now, right?
Yeah, I think it's your turn.
4 of diamonds.
What's Ilya up to while Rowan is following her cousin down a corridor?
Are you more extroverted or more introverted than your spouse?
Oh, that one.
Are you rubbing off on them? Not at the moment.
I mean, I assumed we had never.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. Rowan gives extremely strong, they don't understand the question kind of vibes.
I don't know about that.
Getting married, yeah, sure. Getting married via text message is probably about a sign of exactly
you did that too?
Sure, but I've got ulterior motives. You're a sweet cinnamon roll. Remember
right.
all the letters? Remember all the things she said? All the things she said running through my head?
I think there was a lot of, fluffy girl romance shit in there.
Yeah, basically an entire Mills and Boon novel. And imagine, what if you had to tie up my shoes one morning because I ran out into the fields without them being tied up properly.
Oh, see, when you said Mills and Boon, I assumed you meant filthy.
Oh yeah, they're all really filthy, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm imagining something a bit more teen rated. Definitely that must be extremely scandalous, and it's not.
What you want is Christian romance novels. Those things are dire.
Okay, yeah, but without any of the propaganda.
Hey, everyone in the comments, you should definitely tell me that I should get one of those romance novels from my youth and read them to Fox and see how she do a live fire commentary reaction to one of those novels.
Only if you can get them without paying.
Oh, of course I'm gonna steal it. These are Christians.
Yeah,
they don't have souls. Anyway, I think it's pretty reasonable to say that Ilya is more extroverted.
Just a little bit.
She is currently trying to pick up a maid.
Huh? Excuse me.
No, pick up a maid. Oh. Grab at the hips and go, check this out. One-handed.
Still somewhat questionable.
Yeah, I set up a trap for you. You fell for it.
There's definitely a part of Rowan that's after we danced like that, I expected to be your check out what I can lift demonstration.
You're currently talking to Hagface.
You could have come and found me.
That would involve going near Hagface. Sorry, Hagface. It's a very fancy family. Anyway,
she says it's pronounced Hapus.
So, do you think that Ilya is making Rowan more extroverted, or is Ilya a rolling fireworks festival that Rowan is crawling behind so as to avoid ever being noticed?
I don't think Rowan is becoming more extroverted. I think we can safely say that's not happening.
More extroverted than the Rowan in the letters, definitely.
No, she could be a bit social. This Rowan is more secretive.
That's true.
Almost like she has a secret. Have
really
a secret.
Weird. It's really weird too, because she didn't mention having any big secrets in any of the letters we had in all the correspondence.
Why would they put things in the why would you put secrets in the letters? The letters are being read.
I don't know. Your card.
I have a 4 of spades.
A 4 of spades. Think about the last time you lied or did something dishonest.
Well, that was several seconds ago.
Blurt it out to your spouse.
I don't know how that could possibly work.
How is it any different from what the two of you are doing now?
Okay, so...
Does this just mean Rowan refers to Rowan in the third person at some point?
I assumed it might relate to the conversation with the cousin.
Oh, Miss Hafes. Madam Hafes.
I think I said Hafes, didn't I?
Madam
I
Hafes.
said Hafes.
Yeah, Madam Hafes.
Which surely must take the form of. By the way, I said we'd be delighted to attend an event at your cousin's townhouse after the ceremony. To keep up appearances, and no one can see you emote either.
It's true, but when it's a finger puppet, I can make it loom over Rowan very easily.
Well, we have to be seen places, and I couldn't very well go without you.
Fuck! Somewhere a butler drops a tray. What the hell just happened? You're right. You can't go without me. I mean, you could. You could pretend to be me and go without me, and no.
I would need 2 of me.
Yeah.
I would
standing on each other's
3
shoulders.
3 of me, probably. I would need a larger percentage of me than exists.
Hang on. And at this point, Ilya puts her hands on Rowan's hips and just up to eye height, tucks the arm under the hips to try and get a shelf to rest against.
Yeah. You see, this is exactly why.
It would be about 2 of you. Oh, those are your shoes down there.
I think I need those.
Oh, okay. Sets down. Ilya has 1 move. Can I throw it?
She's going to be so useful when we have to fight super spies from the other country, though.
It's true. What if the Thorn Princess was instead the Bramble Bandit?
The Tree Princess.
That's that was you. And now we're on the hook.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah, now we're on the hook to go visit my cousin's townhouse, which is currently being full of nerds doing paperwork and is nowhere near a boat.
Maybe the paperwork will be interesting.
The look of horror that Ilya gives.
All right, I know.
Leaning in, narrowing her eyes, getting closer. Something real suspicious about... Oh my god. You like paperwork. You're a big nerd!
You've rumbled me. I'm sorry. I thought you would have realized from our letters, all of those letters that I wrote, many written letters by me.
Oh no.
Oh no?
I just flipped the queen. It's a marital trial.
Well, we can't get rock, paper, scissors twice in a row.
We can't get... Well, we can.
We can?
Yeah. It's a die roll.
Oh, I thought it was every different face card.
Alright. Hi there,
Okay.
D12.
Oh, I gotta make a better looking D12.
9. What is trial number 9?
It's gotta be different.
Travel album. Everyone wants to know where you went
Oh.
on honeymoon.
Oh, I thought you meant what was our mixtape for car trips. That's me. That's not Rowan. I already know you have 5+ affection for me.
Except you didn't.
We really didn't.
Better come up with something real quick. Roll 2d8. Get you out of here. Side note, this is Sophie's dice roller. It's on itch. It is customizable to the most ludicrous degree. If you want a 256-sided die, this thing can do it, and it's a nicely rendered model.
We now return to your regularly scheduled programming. Alright.
15.
Now, is this something where we both have to improv an answer?
Actually, there are 3 prompts. We got 11, and you know what? With these numbers, I say we pick which of these 3 answers we want to give.
What does the list say?
The list is at 2 to 7, you're caught entirely off guard. At 8 to 10, oh yes, we went to a beautiful place and had a beautiful time. And at 11 to 16, which is where we are, why not just tell the truth? Which of those three options sounds best to you?
I don't know. Do you have a preference? I'm leaning towards a third one.
The telling the truth? It's the easiest lie to maintain, isn't it?
Is it just what Ilya would say off the top if asked? We thought it would be nice to just have a quiet, discreet, sort of a little getaway to,
Thump!
that...
As Rowan is talking, Ilya drops down to put her chin on Rowan's shoulder from behind, as if to, like, I am now in this conversation with Rowan.
Oh, hello.
And, cheek to cheek, listening to Rowan talking about the umming and ahhing, and Ilya doesn't know that Rowan is spinning bullshit.
Definitely about to lie.
Ilya thinks that these initial forays of, I've been thinking about, and she just completely sincerely asks, oh yeah? Where would you like to go? I reckon we can make it happen. Like, what's your favourite place to be that isn't your bed?
I haven't really thought about it that much, actually.
I mean, back, in the letters, you always kind of talked about how much you liked the seaside. And we got, like, we've got the pebble beaches here, and you got the fine sands over there.
Well, yes, but I mean, given as our family estates are by the seaside, it's, it's not a special occasion. It's just a place you can always be.
Have you ever been to a wood lodge? Up in the mountains, in the middle of the forest, surrounded all sides by trees. You go up in the winter, and it's got a roaring fire, and you can just watch as the clouds creep through the tree line. Hear nature all around. Have nice roasted apples and other delicious desserts.
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, I've never seen snow. You can't just go and do that within the kingdom.
You totally can. That's what the mountains are like. That's what you could do. Hey, you know what? I am taking you to a lodge. Yeah? Sound good?
What? Yes, actually.
Get a little lost in the dreaminess of it. Start actually imagining it. +3 affection. -1 plot.
Where did that come from?
That's what the marital challenge is.
That's the telling the truth one?
Yep. We just rolled real well. All right.
Save the world plot is suffering.
Yep. Look, I think it's very important, however, that we have at this point nothing for suspicion, because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, this has just got to be that everyone's like, yeah, well, that's how Ilya do.
Yeah.
There's nothing weird going on here. No, you've just not met Ilya, trust me.
Homunculus bozo.
Trust
of course
me, mate.
She didn't think of a honeymoon, did she? This is the first time she's thought of a honeymoon. Like, oh my god, she's such a bore. And everyone's like...
Oh, and everyone's like, oh, and poor Rowan.
Rowan seems so nice.
They probably didn't even realize that most people get treated to a ridiculously expensive honeymoon by the richer family.
Yes, and they're so rich. They're so rich.
So rich. Isn't she sweet to not say anything about it, even trying to cover for that big idiot.
That absolute homunculus.
That massive goon.
Complete goober.
Absolute side of beef.
Uh-huh. Now, we are coming up on just over an hour of play. So, we did start with you. We then moved to me. So, technically speaking, we could end there and it would be an even number of cards pulled. And next time we would pick up with the house party at the Nerd Estate.
Is that my card? I honestly can't remember.
Hang on a second. We can actually do this because we have material cards. You, me, you, me, you, me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
Would you like to go one more round of cards?
I kind of do.
All right.
It's not like that's a bad place to end, but suddenly when it's like, oh, should we stop there? I'm like, oh.
Let's finish the soiree.
Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts. You've had a little too much to drink. Which for you is anything, because your ironclad resolve. Do you want to pass this one off to me? That Ilya gets...
Are you suggesting my ironclad resolve is not enough to cope with one glass of champagne?
You've never had city champagne.
I'll have you know, I am a model of concentrateness.
So, what's supposed to happen here is a sincere compliment slips out. But I think it's very likely, if that happened, that Ilya is the one who just offers a really sincere compliment of like, oh, that's very cute.
It could be me.
Yep, after you. You're prompt after all.
I have been having a lovely night. And I have not drunk too much champagne at all, because I am very sensible.
You've been drinking with Hagface.
It's definitely pronounced like that. No, I am fine. I have a mission. I am the model of temperance.
No, temperance is over there with chastity and prudence. Don't worry, they're not hag faces.
I'm ignoring you. But I would like one of those cocktail sausages. You magnificent redwood of a woman.
And I think that gets a genuine blush, because it's the first time Rowan's been nice to Ilya since arriving on the train.
Yay!
Oh, which means we go up to 9 affection on our first time out. Oh my word. Whoop. Get back here. Get back here.
The world has ended.
Alright.
Might be hacks to play this as a couple, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. We're very good at knowing the kinds of things that we like.
We like each other's characters.
Yeah.
That's kind of what our relationship is founded upon.
Very consistently, Fox makes amazing characters. Alright then. Last pull of the day. Here we go.
Thank you for the cocktail sausage.
I will get you all the cocktail sausages you want.
I wear them like a necklace. We can't go up to 10 on the first session.
What eye roll inducing personality trait of your spouse is actually starting to come off kind of hot now you think about it?
Well, they can't be wearing cocktail sausages like a necklace. That's not a personality trait.
No. But this contrasted with all the corrections and the prissiness and the needling about grammar. Like, I ignored... Sorry, I skipped a lot of grammar classes to get this kind of language out of my mouth, considering my family's background.
Yeah.
And fought at least 2 T-Rexes in ruins. And yet somehow, I don't hate when you do that. I know you're just trying to make the world a little bit better. In the fussiest and most annoying way possible.
I like that for this to have come up, it implied, like, Rowan must have done this even though they're already drunk.
Must have corrected grammar while drunk, yes. But that's it. That's there's no stat mods on that one. That's just me talking about how in their first soiree, Ilya is finding Rowan's. And she's a little bit on the vein of like, I wonder if I could take her with me when I bolt.
I mean, I've been invited on the boat.
Yeah. You know, bolting in the dark, but like, you know, you're part of the bolt.
It could be over one shoulder.
Yeah, I've got. After all, I'm doing this to make sure I can take all my stuff. You could be part of my stuff.
I could be your stuff.
Yeah. All right. So that's session 1. Join us in a few weeks when we will wrap up the story of Ilya and Rowan.
I'll put in another installment one way or another.
Well, yeah, we're going to do this again. And I think because of how good we are at, like, knowing each other, like, we get some very unfair advantages, and that's why our stats are so ridiculously high.
We're a little lopsided.
But this is a really fun game. The rule book could use a bit of a tweak to make certain bits of information pop more evidently. Like, the setup could be a lot more bullet point. Here is just the list of things to do. But this is a genuinely delightful game, and I really am glad I get to play it with you.
It's a good fun pitch, and I like how they expressed some of the thematic ideas through, like, rock, paper, scissors for dancing is a delight.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you should play it with your homies, and, you know, make up characters to fall in love with your homies. It's good for your mental health. And with that...
Okay, bye!